Hello YouTube, this is Chris again, Break Journal Services. Today's video is going to be on a topic that I get thrown in my face a lot whenever I talk about the biblical flat earth. It's about pilots say it's a ball, pilots say it's a globe, pilots say this, so I'm going to trust a pilot. But what you fail to realize is that most pilots won't speak about it because they're too afraid to lose their wings. Um, but you do get a few that do come out and speak about it, which is getting harder and harder to find because YouTube likes to bury the truth, and media in general likes to bury the truth and scrub it like it never existed. I remember when I first got into the biblical flat earth, I could type in flat earth on Google or YouTube and would just be page upon page of people like me showing proof. And now you have to dig for days upon days sometimes um, to find any kind of proof. But then they say, oh, the proof of uh, the burden of proof is on you, when they don't even want to do their own research. They just believe what NASA says. It's all because NASA says. NASA says they don't do their own research. And they want us to do the research to give them the proof. But then when we give them the proof, it's never good enough. I remember years ago, me making a video or talking about chemtrails, which I still talk about and believe. But pilots say they're not doing that. Pilots say they're not doing that, and then I make a video showing pilots coming out and talking about it. The video's still on my channel, and people still didn't want to believe it. Oh, they're lying. They're making this up. They're this. They're that. Really, they're putting their livelihood on the line. They're putting their wings on the line, so they lose their job to speak about something they know is going to get them in trouble. uh, it's just mind-boggling that you want the proof, and then I give you the proof, and then the proof is not good enough on all the topics I touch on my videos. But I do want to apologize before we get started that it's been 14 days now since I made a video. It's just I got a lot of medical issues and financial issues and uh, physical issues and legal issues and stuff and all that. And then every time I get to making a video, it's either super long, and so I don't upload it because it's super long, and I'm trying to figure out how to shorten it down. Um, but then, when I do my research, I like to do my research to where I have all the evidence available, the best evidence available at that time to give it to you guys. One, I want to know the truth, but I want you to have all the tools at your disposal to be able to look at, listen, read, take it in prayer, and make a wise decision, not just regurgitate what you're taught, regurgitate what you're taught by your pastors, by your teachers, by NASA, by whatever. You actually use your God given brain to do this research. So, um, and also, I keep saying I need to get back to doing live streams again before we get on with the video. If you know anything about OBS and live streaming, let me know. I'm not new to OBS, but I guess it was the beta that I used for a few years, and I stopped using it because, as far as live streaming, because it live streamed me without my permission on YouTube. I was sitting there getting some footnotes ready and getting some stuff ready, and all of a sudden my phone starts going off telling me that I'm live streaming. Am I okay? Because I wasn't talking. I wasn't really making any movements. Um, like I was interacting with anybody on the stream, and I was like, I'm not live streaming. And I went and looked, and sure enough, OBS had made me go live on YouTube without my permission. So I just started getting back into using OBS again, and I'm using it to record, to give you guys the best videos possible. And I would like to get back into live streaming again, but I'm stuck with. I hear the research I'm doing that if you connect your account directly, you have more options available to you. But then I have people telling me that, just use the live stream key from YouTube, and that gives you the same capabilities. And so if you're familiar with it, let me know. And what I should do, because I do want to get back and doing live streams again. And as you see, I've got tons of videos that I haven't forgot about making that I've got to get made. It's just a lot going on, guys. So anyway, I reactivated for a little bit my Reddit account, and I kept getting notified over and over and over and over again with stuff about like transsexuals and um, LGBTQ, the alphabet people, and all kinds of different things. And so eventually I've uninstalled the app again. It was just too much. So, but one of the notifications I got was this here, and I screenshotted it and sent it to myself so that I could make a video about it. And so let's get to reading it here. And this is from Flat Earth Community on Reddit. It says, during cruising, an airplane is particularly level or flying perpendicular to the direction of gravity. The plane is still flying following Earth's curvature and continuously changing its angle. A spirit level, which is just a regular level, that's just a fancy name of saying level, in the plane will not show the changes because the direction of gravity changes too. Say what? I have never in my life, until I got this message, heard that ever. Um, a level, the way it works, it tells you the levelness um, of a surface. Gravity has nothing to do with that. So they go on with this little diagram here, and it's supposed to be the Earth. And it says that cruising altitude, an airplane flies following Earth's curvature. As a result, the angle is constantly changing too. No, it is not. And I'm going to show you that actual pilots um, say these things, say that the Earth is flat. Anyway, a wrong hypothesis, red check mark, is the Earth is a sphere. A spirit level should indicate the change in the angle during a flight, which is true. It should. They see this is not correct. In reality, not only the orientation changes, but also the direction of gravity, and it is what the level indicates. Check mark. Um, Never in my life have I ever heard that, ever. And I'm a plumber by trade. Been doing plumbing since 2004, and in the construction world, and I do all my own house renovations and so on and so on. And I have never heard in my life that a level indicates gravity, because then it'd be a gravity level, correct? Some flat earthers experiment with a spirit level on a flight and concluded that the earth is flat. It was due to the misconception that about what the level indicates. No, it's not a misconception. It should indicate the curvature or a level surface. And what he's referencing, or that person is referencing, is this guy here. I've talked to him, and been following him for years. When I first became a biblical flat earther, I watched a lot of his stuff. Um, he takes spirit level from North Carolina to Seattle to monitor whether or the pilot would dip the nose of the plane, compass can't even talk today, compensate for the curvature. And he gives us specs: 515 miles per hour, cruising altitude 34,000 feet. At least that's what the pilot told us. He recorded for 23 minutes and 45 seconds, by which the measurement means the plane traveled over 203 miles per hour, or miles, according to the spherical trigonometry given to explain the heliocentric model. This should have resulted in a 5-mile curvature. As you'll see, there is no measurable composition for the curve of the curve, and that, see, that's a level. That's what they're calling a spirit level. It's the regular level. I'll link this in the comment section below. Go watch it, and you'll see it doesn't really change. It'll rock back and forth. Usually, it's him hitting the table or whatever, or the dog. Um, so let's go ahead and move on because I'm trying to keep this short. Another video I'll link for in the description box below is, he did a time lapse video on this flight of the curve, and there was no curve the whole time he was in the air. And so I'll go link this in the description box below. You go watch it. So what's a spirit level? A spirit level is a tool used to indicate how parallel or level or perpendicular plumb a surface is relative to the earth. A spirit level gets its name from blah blah. A spirit level bubble level, or simply a level, is an instrument designed to indicate whether a surface is horizontal level or a vertical plumb. A level indicates establishing a horizontal plane. It consists of a small glass tube containing alcohol or similar liquid, an air bubble. That tube is sealed. The fluid filled container that gives you level readings are called vials. The liquid in the vials is usually oil or alcohol, so that the air bubble inside can. Where's any mention of gravity? None. So go look up gravity, the theory of gravity. Uh, does gravity lift the wings upward? Gravity affects things while they are falling, but stop when they reach the ground. It does not operate on things that are moving upwards. Gravity acts upwards on things that are moving upwards. Gravity is a large force. Does gravity waves push or pull? Gravity waves from on the boundary of fluid with different density. Remember that word, and I've talked about this before, density and buoyancy. Probably the most familiar gravity waves are those on top of a body of water. As winds blow against the water, it pushes some of it up, as well as rises gravity. Water rises, gravity pulls it down. Again, it talks about down, but remember that word density in water. According to Newton's gravity, it's the pulling, or in fact the attracting force of any heavenly body towards the object up to its center. But to the contrary, Einstein once said that the four dimensions of space and time push objects downwards. The Earth's gravity field extends well into space. It does not stop. However, it weakens as it gets further from the center of the Earth. The shuttle orbits 125 miles above the surface, roughly the distance between Jackson and Nashville. That's not very high, guys. That would put it under the dome, not in this fake NASA space. Okay. Buoyancy is the ability or tendency to float in water, air, or another fluid. Objects float when they are less dense than the water, and objects sink when they are more dense than the water. Density is, however, tightly packed the mass in an object. It is the number of kilograms that each meter cubed of the material weight. Okay, remember, look how they mention water a lot. What does that sound like? Genesis 1:6. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from the water. So God made the vault to separate the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky. And science says there's water all around us, water molecules in the air, in the sky. You get a lot of water molecules. That's because of the way God designed it. Then you got your bodies of water, your rivers, your lakes, your oceans, stuff like that. You know, theory of gravity is not needed. Density and buoyancy is what keeps everything down on the ground, or lets it float. See, if you use the theory of gravity, it's selective. That's why, eggs don't break, you don't get crushed, cans don't get crushed, so on and so on. Your car doesn't get crushed like a tin can. All being in the same general area as you are, because it's going off density and buoyancy. That the mass of the object is either heavier or lighter than the air around it, or the water around it. That's what makes it stay on the ground or lift in the air. I've touched about this in other videos. So let's move on. So this is what I was talking about here, about how, pilots are afraid to speak on things, chemtrails, biblical flat earth, so on, because they know if they do, they will lose their wings. They will be grounded. They'll lose their job. And some of these pilots been doing being pilots for 25, 30 years. And they don't want to lose their job because that's their livelihood. And I know what it's like to try to find a job outside of your career. That's why I can't, I'm a plumber by trade, and I can't find a job. A lot of it has to do with because I've been a plumber for so long. Even McDonald's tells me they won't hire me because they're too afraid that if a plumbing company offers me a job, I'll take it because that's my trade. So if that's a plumber, how much more would it be for a pilot? And then on top of that, you got that, no other pilot, airline's going to hire that pilot. because he's going to be marked as somebody that won't fall in line, that speaks the truth, or she will be. So they have to be careful what they say. But you get some of them that have a conscience, and they speak on it anyway. I did a video, I said, like I think I said like a while back, about the chemtrails and pilots coming out and in board meetings talking about chemtrails and how they're real, and they didn't realize it. They thought it was a joke, and they got to looking up and realizing that those weren't contrails, they were chemtrails or cloud seeding. And so they were trying to fight against it because it's wrong. It's harmful to the environment, to the people, to plants, to animals. It's dangerous with a controlled modification and all that. And they were speaking out on this. These are actual pilots. The same thing here. You want the truth, you want the proof, and it's the same group of people or the same thing that you're using to back up what you're saying. And then, like the pilots, oh, the pilots say the earth is a globe. But then when you find the pilots that actually speak on the truth, you don't want to take well, they're nuts, or that was proven false, or that was an act, or that was this, or that was that, when they've proven they're actual pilots. But you don't want to hear that because it's not the pilots giving you your script to what to believe. They have a script they follow, and then they spit it out to you to believe it. So anyway, let's move on.
Pilots, what they think?
Yes, we've talked to many pilots, and they say that they know the Earth is flat and station level, that they see things, that are literally impossible on a globe, on a spinning globe. And we actually interviewed a KLM pilot who was telling us all the stuff, showing us all sorts of stuff. Next day, she was grounded and fired. Okay. Yep. And so this is a long distance flight, and the sun right here should dip below the horizon, but it never
ask any pilot.
She was grounded and lost her job. That's why a lot of pilots won't speak about this stuff, because they look at it like, I got a family to feed, I got bills to pay, I got this, I got that. I've got 25, 30 years wrapped up in this career. If I lose this job, I won't be able to find another one. They're so worried about what people think instead of speaking the truth and knowing God will take care of them. And he will provide.
Flat or is it globe, mate?
It's flat.
This is flat. Thank you very much, mate. God bless.
A man asked the pilot if the Earth is flat.
Can I talk to the pilot, please? Right here. You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
For Delta 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat? How long have you been flying for, you said?
Over 30 years.
And when you tell people that, do they think you're like crazy or no?
Only one person.
Only one person?
They
Pilot for 30 years. This was a month ago when this guy put this video up. 30-year-old pilot, or 30 flying for 30 years as a pilot, and only one person thought he was crazy when he said about the flat Earth.
built it for a flat, stationary Earth. And my goal is for some young fighter pilot to listen to what I just said, go out tomorrow and set the bottom of your L strobe on your altitude, run it out there to 80 miles, and that bottom altitude on your cursor will stay the same.
Are you a pilot?
Yes, sir.
One question.
Okay.
When you descend in the air,
Yeah.
do you dip or do you go straight?
It's straight.
Straight?
A little more with the nose out. That's it.
But straight. You don't dip
Yeah.
into the...
No.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome, sir.
Have a great day.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
Curvature? No.
No, there's no curvature?
It's just all flat.
The pilots, is the earth flat or round? Thanks, I'm with you.
Pregunta controversial. Hay un debate ahora en YouTube especialmente en el que las personas se cuestionan que si la curvatura de la Tierra es observable o no es observable. No, a la altura que vuelan esos aviones. Usted no va haciendo ningún ajuste, va como si fuera parejito, sobre terreno. No, pero sí tiene unos 2 grados más alto que normal, depende de lo que del caso del avión. Ah, ok, la nariz va hacia arriba. Sí. Pero no tienen que buscar la curvatura. No, vuelan como si fuera sobre un plano. Sí, es lo que pasa hacer el avión. Bueno, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Ok, hasta luego.
Because they tell us, that at least in the U.S., the ground's moving at about 700 miles an hour left to right. And I was thinking that's kind of odd if you're landing going north moving in the north
That's
direction.
not, and that, yeah, no, the ground looks to us like it's standing still.
Yeah, not an issue, huh?
Yeah, no. You could probably see the Rockies from Kansas.
Wow.
But here it's a clear day, but if it's smoky or hazy, obviously you can't see.
Excuse me, guys.
In this video here, you hear the pilot at the very end say, "We're not supposed to tell you that." But I wanted to say, if you're a pilot and you want to talk about this topic on my channel, let me know, or any other topic that I talk about. I guess kind of like a whistleblower. I put that out there before and no one's took me up on the offer, really. Especially if you're a biblical flat earther, and if you don't want, we can do something to cover your face or whatever, video call or something, and you don't have to have your camera on, but you need to prove to me you're a pilot first, because I'm not going to put somebody up saying they're a pilot and then give all this information and it's not correct, or even if it is correct, because you're not an actual pilot. So if you can prove to me you're a pilot and you want to talk about this topic or any other topic, let me know in the comment section, or reach out to me privately. All my links are in my About Me section. I'm even willing to go up on a plane with you and record and or live stream to prove that the earth is biblically flat. So anyway, either way, let me know.
I have a question for you.
One of us can answer it.
You guys adjust for curvature as you're flying through the air. The Earth is supposed to be a ball, right?
Yeah.
So should we be dipping down the nose of the plane to compensate for the curvature, or do you guys just, or do you fly on over a flat plane?
Well, we're about a millimeter over a bowling ball. We're not that high.
8 inches per mile squared is the official story of what the curvature drop should be. So a distance that far, so if you're 8 inches from the shore on a beach, and your friend is rowing his boat out 1 mile away, the boat should be already hidden by the curvature. You guys don't see curve, you see horizon at
Really,
high level.
no. I mean, if you look at more of just the curve of the earth, we're on the perfect dip, but we're just on that tangent.
So
and
really,
that never changes.
Earth's flat.
Sorry?
Earth is flat.
Yeah, you know that. We've seen it every day.
Flat and stationary.
Exactly. Everybody else.
Well, you know that. You guys see the horizon at high level, and you have to understand that if you're on a ball, as you rise from the ball, you would have to look down to see the horizon.
Yeah.
You don't ever see that. I look out the window of the plane, and I see horizon as far as I can see, flat.
What's different from the front?
Even from there. Your windows aren't that much different. Earth is flat. It's a big lie. You guys should look into it. You know it's flat. You guys fly over it every day.
We're not allowed to tell anybody that.
I know.
Do you say it's flat?
Yes.
Yeah? Thank you very much.
Whenever you fly your plane, do you ever account for curvature?
No.
Do you ever account for Coriolis or Earth spin?
No.
Do you ever see the Earth curving?
No.
Does water find its level?
Yes.
Does it always find its level?
Yes.
Okay, so water always finds its level. Does water conform to its container?
Yes.
Y luego, además, aquí aparece como si fuera, no sé cómo le llamamos a esto, un anexo, un añadido, algo que se cose.
Sí, exactamente, un parchecito, que me recuerda a una persona muy especial. Plana y estacionaria, ¿se ve?
¿Plana? Sí. ¿Y no tiene algo de achatamiento? ¿No se ve no? Eso es cuando ya nos vamos a la órbita, ¿no?
La curvatura se ve cuando la cámara es de ojo de pez, como la que llevaba el que se tiró de Red Bull.
Sí.
Ahí sí que ves la curvatura, pero si la cámara es una cámara normal, se ve todo recto. Normalmente volamos a lo máximo, el techo del avión es 41.000 pies, que son 12 kilómetros, 800 metros o algo así.
Sí.
Pero normalmente volamos a 35, 37, que
¿Y las
son
alturas no se ve?
10...
La curvatura.
No, hombre, no, según... a ver, yo he volado con el Lier a 47.000 pies, con el Lier del jet privado, que son unos 13 kilómetros, 600 o algo así, y tampoco.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
No.
No? What did you see while we were up there?
This is the blue sky, white clouds.
Yeah, is it flat or?
Pretty flat.
Pretty flat?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Captain, someone wants to say hi, is that okay? Do you adjust for curvature when you get up to a certain altitude?
Well, yeah, when you see the sun coming up on the horizon,
But the plane stays at an even pitch throughout the whole flight?
Yeah.
So, I mean, not too much curvature to count for.
No.
More flat than anything.
Nope, you close your eyes, you won't have a clue.
True. More flat than anything?
Close your eyes, you wouldn't have a clue. In other words, it's not moving at all.
What was that?
It's more flat than anything.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Not only is it not moving, but there's no curvature.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Flat or a ball?
Flat. Lots of flat.
Yeah, me too.
Pretty flat to me.
It certainly does, doesn't it? And you've got that flight in.
Excuse me, do you mind?
Very well. How are you?
So you know how we just took a flight of descent?
Yeah.
Did you have to compensate for curvature?
Yeah.
So did you just have to compensate for curvature due to the flight of descent as we landed just now?
No, not necessarily. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So the pilot just told me that the Earth is flat.
Hey, I just want to say thanks for the smooth flight.
Right.
I think I have one question. Is there like a specific angle of downward tilt you have to fly at?
3 degrees.
3 degrees
That's it.
for the curvature of the Earth?
Oh, for the Earth?
Because,
Yeah, we just fly over the troposphere.
really?
Yeah.
Do you have to keep like kind of going down because...
No, we actually have to look up. It flies.
Really? Because I was reading some stuff on the flat Earth that made a lot of sense. Have you looked into it?
Which one?
I was reading a lot of stuff on the flat Earth.
Okay, yeah. True.
It's true?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
All right.
God bless, brother.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
I'm a fellow, Casey Josh, I'm a fellow just PPL, pilot here.
Yeah, no.
I've got a couple of serious questions to ask you.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, there's a big time. Curvature.
Curvature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't allow for curvature, do we?
Yeah, for anything, not here usually.
No, we're round, we're a disc, aren't we? Round and flat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, look, honestly,
I think that stewardess either one didn't want to hear the truth, or she knows the script and she was trying to get him to move so that he would stop asking the questions that he was asking about a biblical flat earth. I think it was more the former, that she didn't want to hear the truth, but it could have been the other way too, that she knows the script they're supposed to follow when asked these certain questions and they weren't following the script. And so she was trying to run interference, and she figured that if she would say, "Excuse me, move," and she bumped into him, that he would back up and that he would stop asking the questions.
quite seriously?
Yeah.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next. Now, just like in the one video that I showed you, or that one section I showed you, in that video where the guy was speaking Spanish, the pilot, if you happen to speak Spanish, let me know in the comment section what he says, because in this video as well, it's translated in English. The guy translates it, and then the second part of the video is the same video, but it's all just the guy speaking, and he speaks Spanish. So if you happen to speak Spanish, I don't, let me know in the comment section below if what he's saying is what the narrator's saying, which I believe that it is. But just let me know in the comment section.
Is the Earth flat or spherical? It is flat.
The Earth is flat, or
I know it's flat.
you know it's flat? How long have you been flying for, you said?
Over 30 years.
My name is William Andres Lozada. I am a commercial pilot. I make videos for the internet, and this is one of the questions they most ask me on social media. Watch this video until the end to know the opinion of a commercial pilot about the flat Earth theory. Today from beautiful Puerto Buenaventura, a city on the Pacific, I share my thoughts. I always questioned many things in life and always wanted to go beyond. I believe in the saying that goes like this: a lie repeated 1,000 times becomes reality.
Which is what I've said over and over and over again, that, even I don't agree with Hitler. He said that same thing in his speeches. If you repeat a lie enough, it appears to be the truth and people believe it. And I've got some other videos coming up. I've got tons of videos I haven't forgot about that I've told you about. And one of them is like weapons in space by NASA, that they work for the CIA. Their International Space Station is meant for spying on us. And so is their satellites and different things like that. Yeah, keep watching, guys. Not in this particular video, but keep up with my channel. Hit that little bell notification, and I'll eventually get them up.
That's why I decided to hear the opinions and thoughts of millions on people who have interesting theories about flat Earth. Even if you don't believe it, There are millions of people who do. Why is that the famous image of the blue marble has so many modifications in graphic design? Why don't they just take a photograph of the
Another video I got planned is about the biblical flat earth and why it's important. I've got it down here ready to be made. I just got to figure out how I'm going to make it, or if I'm just going to live stream it. If I can get my live streaming working right, I might just live stream some of these and not make them into videos, because they're going to be long anyway, about stargates and you know, that is the portals that the so-called UFOs and aliens are coming through that are demonic. They're not and if you've done any research on NDEs, near-death experiences, they talk about these tunnels, these portals that they go through. They talk about these tunnels that they go back and forth through. Then you got all these ancient people that talk about, you know, they have these stargates and they found them where they're all broken down and stuff like that. They talk about the star people coming through, and they give descriptions of like aliens and UFOs, and their aliens and UFOs are even spoke of in the Bible and all kinds of stuff. But this is one reason the biblical flat earth is important. God's flat earth is important, because once you realize what the earth really is and how God really created it, you see aliens and UFOs and things like that in a different light. You realize what they are. But that's another video I got coming up. Haven't forgot about it. But anyway, let's get back to this. I figured I'd throw that in here because it has to do with the biblical flat earth.
entire Earth from a satellite or something that is in space. Take a photo that shows how it really is. Why do they have to make corrections, graphic designs and CGI? The aircraft I fly can fly up to 25,000 feet altitude. I never saw any curve from up there. Also, as a passenger, I fly at more than 35,000 feet altitude and I don't see any curve either. During the cruising phase I fly straight and level. I never dip down the nose of the aircraft to adjust for the curvature of the Earth. That's it. Okay?
This over here, if you notice this movement of the stars, this is pretty much what a biblical flat earther and what I've said, and I've showed you the map and all that. The sun, moon, and stars are on circuits and they spin. The earth is stationary and still, the Bible says, on four pillars, can never be shaken and be moved off these pillars. So it's not zipping through space. But you see how that's rotating? That's what the sun, moon, and stars are doing. They're rotating around like this on their circuit. I just wanted to point that out as well.
Here, never making any correction. Straight and level. The horizon always straight and level. Dipping the nose is not required at all.
¿La Tierra es plana o esférica? Es plana.
The Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat? How long have you been flying for, you said?
Over 30 years.
Soy William Andrés Lozada, piloto comercial, hago videos para internet y esta es una de las preguntas que más me hacen en redes sociales. Quédense al final para ver la opinión de un piloto comercial acerca de la teoría de la Tierra plana. Hoy desde el bonito puerto de Buenaventura, una ciudad del Pacífico, he traído un pensamiento y es que siempre me he cuestionado muchas cosas en la vida y siempre he querido ir un poco más allá. Pues yo soy fiel a la frase que una mentira repetida 1000 veces se vuelve una verdad. Por eso he decidido escuchar las voces y pensamientos de millones de personas que tienen teorías interesantes acerca de la Tierra plana. Y aunque ustedes no lo crean, son millones de personas. ¿Por qué la famosa fotografía Blue Marble o la canica azul? ¿Por qué tiene correcciones de diseño gráfico? O sea, ¿por qué simplemente no le toman una fotografía desde un satélite o desde algo que haya ido al espacio, le toman una foto y nos la muestran? ¿Por qué tienen que hacerle correcciones de diseñadores gráficos o por computador? El avión que yo vuelo puede volar hasta 25,000 pies de altitud y yo nunca he visto la redondez de la Tierra desde ahí. Y también he estado como pasajero a más de 35,000 pies y tampoco he visto la redondez de la Tierra desde ahí. Cuando voy en fase de crucero, que voy recto y nivelado, nunca he tenido que corregir bajando el morro del avión para seguir la curvatura de la Tierra. Esto, ¿por qué? Ok. En ningún momento toca hacer la corrección a recto y nivelado. El horizonte en todo momento está recto y nivelado. Así, no toca hacer correcciones de nariz abajo.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So like I said, it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder, and I've said this in the videos too, to find the truth on, especially on the biblical flat Earth. I used to be able to type in flat Earth, the flat Earth pilots, or biblical flat Earth, or the Bible says flat Earth on YouTube and Google, and it would just be pages and videos of people like me showing the truth and proof. Now it's so much harder to find. They're burying it and they're scrubbing it and everything else. Now, mostly what you get without going through page and page and page, sometimes days, and that's one of the reasons it takes me so long, like I said, making videos, is because it takes so long to find this information and its proof. So I looked up flat Earth pilots, and I come across this guy, Arthur E. Carson, his LinkedIn page. So this is it. I clicked on it. It opened up this page here, but if you see, it's the same one. I flew for the military for many years. All aviation folks know the Earth is flat. No, so flying from place to place is extremely easy. So this is this page here. As you see, it says the same thing. Do pilots say the Earth is flat? It says, flew for the military for many years. All aviation folks know the Earth is flat. So flying from place to place is extremely easy. We carry a real Earth map that is public, that the public has no access to as a navigator. All I have to do is draw a straight line across the paper so that we wanted to, where we want to go. So easy. We like to make it sound much more complicated, though, so we can have some fame, respect, and decent salaries. So we put forward the round Earth deception. We refer to it as RED. Every photo taken from the aircraft through entire history of flight has been manipulated to make it appear that the Earth is curved. This used to be a painstaking process, but now, thanks to digital age and Photoshop, it is quite simple. Note that the navies and seafarers of the world do this as well. They cut the ship and boats out of the Photoshop so that so a mast only over horizon to make it look like the ship is going around a sphere. We are all in on it. Okay? And before you say, oh no, he's just a fake, he's a phony, anybody can say he's a pilot. Look, what is that? Chief Ground Instructor at Miami-Dade College, Ig Watson School of Aviation, FAA, Part 141 pilot, blah, blah, blah. So I did a little bit more digging and research on the guy. Pulled this up, Miami-Dade College. I looked up his name and what he claimed to be. There he is there. So then I clicked on it. I clicked on the website, and this is what pops up. Arthur Carlson, Ground Chief Ground Instructor, Administrator, and it gives his phone number and his email. I've contacted him a few times, left messages, trying to get him on my channel to do an interview with him. But, I mean, it's pretty clear right there. I mean, and you saw through the rest of the video all the different pilots that pretty much made the same statements. But like I said, if you're a pilot and you want me to interview you on my channel, if you want to be like a whistleblower and keep your identity hid, that's fine. But you've got to prove to me that you're a pilot. And I have to have something to be able to show my YouTube fans, my followers, so that they know you're a pilot, without giving your identity away. If you don't want that, if you don't want your identity to be known, we can figure something out. And I'm, like I said, more than happy to get up in a plane with you and do a video or live stream to show the Earth is biblically flat. Or we can just do a video call, or even in person if you live where I live. So And all my links are in About Me section, so you can use any of those to get a hold of me. You don't have to comment if you don't want to, if you don't want your identity known. But yeah, as you see, guys, stop using the pilots as saying the Earth is a ball because they say it's a ball. Because there's quite a few of them that's come out over the years. I've seen them. It's just getting harder and harder to find the evidence because it's being scrubbed and taken offline by Google, by YouTube, by the powers that be, the elite. They're removing this stuff. So it's getting harder and harder. You want the burden of proof to be on us to prove these things, but it's getting harder and harder to find the proof. First of all. Second of all, why is the burden of proof on us to show things like a biblical flat earth, chemtrails, mind control, MK Ultra, Blue Beam Project, whatever the discussion is, but you don't have to. You just regurgitate what NASA says. You regurgitate what the schools say. You regurgitate what your pastor says, and so on and so on. You don't actually do the footwork yourself. You know, and I get people commenting on my channel of stuff that's really important that needs to be addressed, like there's no hellfire is another video I'm working on, but there is. But you don't want to take accountability for your actions, and so you're just saying everybody gets into heaven. I'm working on one about, is the rapture real or not? I'm working on MK Ultra video, Blue Beam Project. Like I said, NASA with weapons in space, and they work with the CIA and the DOD and the DOJ, and you know, their main goal is to hide the biblical flat earth, but they also have, you know, weapons in space, and they have surveillance things, or satellites, and the ISS, and all these other kind of things. I've got documents to back this up on CIA.gov. That they're doing more than just hiding the biblical flat earth. The devil always has his hands in multiple cookie jars, even if it's from the same agency or same person. So, and I'm also going to prove that it is biblical about the rapture. The word rapture is in the Bible. And I will prove that as well, because I have a channel that keeps coming at me about different things, and one of them is about the rapture, and another one's about guilt, and I got one about that as well. I've got another one that God doesn't work in guilt, but he does, and I can prove that biblically. And I'm going to. I've got so many videos lined up, guys. Like I said, why the biblical flat earth is important. Once you realize what it is, you realize that aliens aren't from other planets and solar systems and galaxies. They've always been here. Since the Bible talks about them and different things like that. So, and like I said, you go to near-death experiences, and, you know, they talk about going through tunnels or vortexes or portals, you know, when they go between heaven and earth, or yeah. So these are the same portals or stargates that these demonic aliens are using. And that's, you know, like CERN, you know, whenever CERN is turned on, the sky opens up and these big cubes pop out, or a disc or whatever. And then when CERN gets turned off, they disappear, and then the portal closes. I mean, there's just so much stuff to talk about on this topics, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Use all the links in the About Me section. If you want to, you know, be on my channel, for interview me and me interview you, or whatever, let me know in the comment section, and use all the links in the About Me section. Maybe we can get something worked out. And again, if you're familiar with OBS and live streaming, you know, which way should I do it? Should I connect my account directly or use the stream key? Is there any difference? Which is better? Does it matter? But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Use all the links in the About Me section. Rate, comment, subscribe. Much love. God bless. And I will see you on the next one.